Episode 1 of the 8 podcasts, I interviewed my mom on her refugee journey because she was Vietnamese refugee. That's kind of what got me into this whole thing because I grew up knowing that story. Like my mom fled her country on a boat, right? In the interview, she talks about how there were supposed to be only like 40 people on the boat. There happened to be 170. They leave, they're out for a couple weeks. You have Thai pirates coming, kidnapping women, killing people. You know, they land on shore to another country and their military's like, we'll give you some water, but we don't have enough resources for you, like get the hell out of here. Ended up in a refugee camp.
Holy crap.
It was insane. And eventually, you know, about a year of all that, came to the United States, sought asylum, right? That's another thing I feel strongly about because I think that's very abused these days for people seeking asylum and they're 21-year-old men with iPhones. Like that's not cool. You know, so she came to America and her sister, you know, I love my aunt a lot, but her sister went your traditional Vietnamese route where, you know, you work at the hair salon, you do nails, right? You hang out with only Vietnamese people. Versus my mom was like, I really want to get an education. Well, I gotta fucking learn English. Learns English at community college, goes to community college, gets a associate's degree in accounting, you know, assimilates to society, builds a family. She has 6 kids now, right? And I'm me being the youngest at age 26. Accomplished a lot, gives back to her community, spreads joy, purpose, all that stuff. What my generation specifically, what one of the triggers of me wanting to do this podcast is you look around at these college kids waving communist flags and it's like, you know, 100 million people died under the Soviet Union and Maoist China. And it wasn't like immediately like, you know, Nazi Germany, these guys were slaughtering people in the course of a couple years. Communism's a slow burn. It's something that takes 20 to 25 years to collapse your society. And now all of a sudden, when no one has access to food or water, they're going to start, your neighbors are going to start robbing you, you know, no police around. So it's chaos, right? You know, for me, like, I absolutely agree with the idea that, like, we shouldn't meddle in, you know, problems that aren't our own. But I also think that we have learned throughout the 1900s that, like, communism is a inevitable doom at every country that it touches. And even Venezuela, look at Venezuela. They try to adopt socialism, right? It's like, oh, you know, vote for me and, you know, you don't have to pay this over here and we'll take resources from the wealthy and redistribute it to those who need it. 10, 20 years later, complete collapse.